this.
Yeah.
So I'm just live and we're having a conversation. That's why you got XLR cables everywhere.
Okay. That's cool.
So your voice is being, that's why the mixer's right behind you.
Alright.
So, do you want to do the honors?
Well, I'll pull that off and then
That way you
I'll-
won't necessarily, you'll have, this is sort of like a classroom environment. I'm kind of the supervisor.
I might just trust you to put the
CPU
handle
in.
the CPUs.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like you put it in incorrectly. So yeah, but that is a daunting experience if you've never, if you don't have a
that
whole
was
lot
the
of
first
experience.
time the first one I built. My buddy did put that in there, and then this is basically like a rebuild. I took all the guts out of here and I
Right.
put it in this case because
You can have LEDs on the bottom, all right.
yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of jury rigged them in there.
It's all right, it's just an LED. Yeah, all right, so
Oh,
we're
yeah,
gonna have to do that arm.
I kind of have everything. I like it the way I want it. I mean,
Right.
I prefer like an all-in-one,
Yeah,
but that will be for like the next build.
well, an all-in, what do you mean by an all-in-one?
Like the liquid cooler.
Oh, right,
I actually had two other 180 millimeter fans like that down here,
yeah,
but this vertical GPU mount wouldn't clear it.
Got it.
Barely will clear that way, and I had to adjust it and bring this unit all the way in because of where the ports were for the 2 8-pins.
right,
Couldn't plug them in. I mean, this thing barely. I could only get one screw
right.
to mount this bracket on here. It's not
It's-
exactly perfect,
Yeah.
but if
Got it.
you know,
Well, just the riser makes things complicated, so,
it does, and that's a PCIe the 4.
right,
Whereas before I had a 3, and
Right.
the one that came with this Cooler Master bracket actually there's a lot of
finagling,
yeah,
Yeah.
that I'm not overly excited about, but I spent, I bought this, I had to have this shipped from the UK
got it,
because they don't like sending those over for some reason.
right. Okay, what condition is your existing CPU? Let's just see where
It
we're going.
should be good.
I wanna be able to swap it out and be safe about handling.
Sure.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Hopefully it
Why don't
should
you
be-
open that up for me and just put it right there? I don't wanna accidentally slip the half-open
Just wanna
cartridge.
look and make
Good,
sure there shouldn't be any bent pins. It
good,
looks
yeah.
like it's-
Well, that one supposedly is a working CPU.
No, I mean, I
Yeah,
pulled
I'm
it
not-
right out
yeah.
and it worked.
Got it.
And I put this graphics card in because there used to be a different graphics card in there.
Right,
I plugged that graphics card in that condition
Right.
with the CPU and it worked fine. I was
Yeah.
just concerned about bottlenecking.
got it.
So,
I want a new place to put this, oh, I guess we're gonna have to move that other arm too, because I can't get that thing up. You see how the kickstand's like 1/8 of an inch too long?
Ah, shit.
It's all right. We didn't realize that because last time we already had it a half up.
Mm,
All these little caveats.
I know.
If you do it all the time, you recognize them. It's like a car builder. Sometimes they have to modify certain things, even if they're all factory. Good. Okay, so we are going to have this ready. This is a workable CPU.
Mhm.
Did you clean that off, or is it got stuff in it?
I feel like I put some.
I think you cleaned it all off.
Yeah,
Got
I
it.
did.
Got it. Okay, so the replacement CPU is all. I just want to be able to be safe about it. All right. Okay. You know what? Can you break me off a piece of paper towel?
Sure.
And put it down right there behind your RAM. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Laying down. Got it. Okay, cool. So, now another piece of paper towel. Because every time I touch that CPU.
I know.
Yeah, you brought your own. It looks like you brought your own.
I did bring some just in case.
Yeah.
I
Well,
didn't
let's just
know.
stick with yours.
Okay.
That's fine. I've got some too, but
I figured you did, but I'm like, you know what?
yeah,
Let me
that's
just.
fine. And it sounds like you're pretty close to a skill set that doesn't require mine. Not necessarily that
Well, I
you're
did.
an all-around good expert, but still, you just about got yourself to the point where you don't need me.
Well, I'm good with the hardware stuff. I don't know anything about the software stuff.
Well,
like
you
all
know how
this-
to install Windows, right?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, we
No.
can do that here. Okay, good. So, the logo. Good. Very careful. Okay. So this is the AMD Ryzen 7 3700X, and that feels good. Good, now it's all one. You want to put that back now?
Sure.
Yes, so best case scenario, we fire it up. We do the BIOS update. So what we're going to do is
Yeah, and I don't know anything about that stuff.
so that's why this is like a classroom environment for you. We're gonna do this. So I'm gonna grab us a memory stick, a USB stick,
Okay.
and we'll just when this thing fires up, we'll use that machine to fix itself. Let me see.
Well, hopefully, maybe you can. Once hopefully we have this working and
Yeah.
new chip in, maybe you can walk me through like just making sure it's up to its full performance
Right.
and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people hesitate about the BIOS, even if they know how to do it. There's a lot of verbiage that says it's dangerous. Like if you lose power, you can break the motherboard. But yeah, you just want to make sure it gets finished.
So, all right, do we need? Is there enough on there to do what we're doing? Or
You actually have so much on there
Okay.
that we don't even need to dress that up.
Now, how long can this run before this fan?
This fan is probably a while. The fan is sort of secondary.
Okay.
Let's just see.
I guess I could plug it in and face it the other way and not. I just don't want to attach this and then keep reattaching.
That's
it,
exactly where I'm coming from. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because it is a very tight fit, and eventually,
Right.
so many times on and off, I'm going to wear down that.
Right.
That was a really bad spot that they decided to put that RGB cable.
No, I mean this is good for you because you won't necessarily. You'll learn something today.
No, I definitely am.
I think it's more fun and.
It is. I enjoy this stuff. It's just.
I know a lot of my customers treat me like the dentist in the sense that they just want me to make their headache go away.
No, I want to know what I'm doing. I was devastated when I couldn't.
Right.
Fire this up. I mean, I was like, man.
Yeah, you're wondering what you did wrong, and unfortunately, you just needed a little bit of outsider knowledge.
And then, especially with it being something like the CPU.
Yeah.
It was like, God.
Right. Oddly enough, it is the more resilient part of the whole computer. It is the least likely part to fail as long as it's not abused. I did warranty repair for 3.5 years. I literally have only replaced like less than 10 CPUs.
Really?
And that's out of literal 5,000 repairs.
So maybe I should just plug this in and then, just so I'm giving it
Sure.
some kind of.
Yeah. That's fine. And make sure you're plugging it into the actual CPU one.
Yeah, it says
CPU
CHA fan.
Yeah.
Just gotta make sure it's orientated.
Yeah, because you got 4 pins and you got the. It's,
Face it this way.
is that CHA? Yeah. All right. Wait, is that? I think it should say CPU fan. That's really.
Yeah, it does right there by the.
Oh, CPU. Well, that says CHA. Yeah. Oh, yeah, CPU fan. Yeah, yeah. All right. Because otherwise, BIOS will say and recognize it as the wrong fan, and then you get some halted error, and then you got to figure out what that is.
Alright, so that's in.
Good.
And then okay, that's back in. So.
Do we need to unplug the GPU?
No, it's plugged in.
Okay, yeah, that's what I mean. Are those cables in the way?
No, I was just gonna point this here just to give it a little bit of.
Well, it's engineered to go this direction.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
maybe we'll
otherwise,
just lay it.
Just lay it.
Lay it on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should.
Good.
That should be fine.
Yeah.
I ought to give it enough.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would have been blown the wrong way and not being very efficient. There.
That should be good for now.
Okay, good, yes. Okay, so now the CPU, the GPU is plugged in. Now let's plug power back in. And then let's plug our keyboards in. Okay, drum roll. Oh, I turned off the power. All right. Okay, good.
Come on, baby, please turn on.
Drum roll. Let it sit. It might take literally 30 seconds or more.
Okay.
That's just the nature of this beast.
Does the CPU fan?
There, yes, good.
There we go.
Good.
All right. Well,
so
that's
now
a good
Windows,
sign.
yeah. Yeah, actually what we could do is we
Oh,
could do
it went straight into BIOS.
Yeah, okay,
Right.
new CPU installed.
Okay.
Please, okay, so this is good sign. When it says new CPU installed, it recognizes that there was a CPU in, but
Okay.
it didn't recognize what was going on.
Okay.
So it's looking more like we're right.
Okay.
So, there we go. Right, okay, F1 installed. Okay, so we're just gonna pretend we good. We're gonna do F10, so those are the defaults. Click OK, and now when we reboot, it should boot into Windows, and then we'll do some updates and see if maybe the Windows updates include this, any updates for firmware.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is looking good.
Alright, cool. Yeah, I didn't realize. So, what is it when you initially get a new motherboard and you put a CPU in it from the beginning? It basically marries itself to that. It's like this is the process for.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but you don't necessarily need to do the step that we're doing.
Okay.
But in this case, it looks like we do need to do the BIOS update, and it's not booting. Let's see. I mean, it booted. Well, let's see. You did install Windows, right? It wasn't bootable Windows.
Windows was on this thing. Yeah.
Got it. Boot menu. Okay, it's not seeing any boot devices. That's interesting. Where's your M2? You have an M2 drive in there, right?
Yeah. Now we did pull the RAM out.
Then no, that doesn't matter. It'll boot with half the RAM. Where's your M2 CPU? Your M2 storage?
Oh, you talking about like the terabyte of memory?
Yeah, I see it right there. There it is.
Yeah,
it's physically in there.
It's
good.
in there.
Okay, good. So it's not seeing your drive. So why is it not seeing the M2? So advanced mode. Boot. Where's your M2? Wait for M1. Option, ROM messages. Why is it not seeing? What? Okay, we don't need RAID.
Now let me ask you.
Yeah, go ahead.
That cable. Well, no, never mind.
You don't have any cables to speak of? What are you speaking of?
No, I'm talking about the PCIe 4, but never mind.
Right.
It worked fine. It worked fine with
Right,
it.
I'm trying to figure out if your M2 is some sort of disabled here. I think when you swapped out the CPU, some BIOS settings might have changed.
Okay.
So what I'm wondering, because it's basically telling me that the M2 is not being visible. You didn't bring the motherboard manual, did you?
No, but I know we can find
Yeah,
it.
we'll find the PDF if needed. But it's a technical setting where you can enable and disable the M2. Let's see here. Onboard devices. There you are. Well, there's M2 link mode. Link speed. Main. Well, while we're at it. BIOS version 14.05. Build date, that's an older BIOS. So how old is this motherboard?
It's like 2 or 3 years old.
Okay, so the release date is November 19, 2019. So
Okay.
it's a 4-year-old motherboard at least.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's generally long enough for at least 2 or 3 versions newer to be released.
Gotcha.
Um,
Yeah, like the chip, the CPU I bought hadn't been invented.
Right. Well, that's ultimate. Now you figured out what the line of succession is. You need to just prep the motherboard for the later, faster hardware.
Yeah.
Okay. See, SATA port enable. That's enabled. We don't technically have any secondary drives, right?
No.
Okay, we can disable that for a faster boot. Now it says RAID mode. Do you remember if it was in RAID mode?
I mean.
If we don't want RAID mode.
I don't know what it is.
Okay, we can explain that, but we don't need it because it should still at least be seeable. Where is DM? Good, driver support on. ROM, force BIOS, boot up, tool. We're gonna load defaults. Yes, we'll just do that. Okay.
Because of all this mix up, am I gonna lose the stuff?
No, we're not erasing the M2, if that's where you're going.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not erasing the drive. Okay, so let's see if it boots with the optimized defaults, because I can't tell if any of the settings were changed when you swap out that CPU. Physically, we know it's intact. I can see it. Okay, it's not booting to the M2. Can you do a little bit of Googling for the PDF? I gotta figure out where in this motherboard I'm lost here.
Sure.
Just so we don't. Let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah, see, it says no bootable devices, but it's physically installed. So somewhere in this BIOS, the M2 function is toggled off. Let's see.
I've got the manual pulled up, but I
Yeah.
don't know exactly what it is.
You're looking for the BIOS tweaker advanced. There, it's probably under here somewhere.
Driver and utility.
Onboard devices configuration. Let's see. Go ahead.
Okay, I found something that says
What'd you see?
BIOS firmware.
Yeah.
Update AMD AM4. That's probably what I need.
Oh, NVMe configuration is what I need. Okay. Okay, here we go. It says right here, advanced NVMe, which is what that thing is,
Mhm.
also known as an M2.
Okay.
It's not seeing it. NVMe, no NVME device found. Let me see here. Because it physically looks like it's.
Yeah, it's seated in there. I've never had any
You're
issue.
confident that's incorrect, and it correctly looks like it's installed. Yes.
It hasn't been messed with. I mean, for
Yeah.
some reason, if me carrying this thing would have.
Jarred it maybe, but I doubt it.
I mean, it's got the
Yeah.
screw in there.
Right, it's a little hard to make that mistake. So just take note. This NVMe configuration, and I can't get down to those lower settings because it's not. Oh wait, let me see here. That's all auto. Yeah. Yeah, so it's not seeing, but we're not doing anything wrong. So, is there only one M2 slot? Because some of these motherboards will take more than one.
Yeah, I only have the one.
Right. Okay, let's do this. That's really weird that it's not even seeing, because this is a separate issue, by the way. So the fact that the M2 is not bootable, and you know with confidence it's already got Windows on it.
100%. And
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So there's our.
That's it.
Well, that's
the
it.
device.
Yeah.
Why is it not?
That's weird. Why is it seeing the device? Samsung SSD 860 EVO M.2 1 terabyte. Good. Well, that's weird. What I'm thinking right now, we'll use another computer to download the BIOS and just there's some sort of glitch that BIOS update probably addresses. That's weird. So you see, the smart software sees that there's physical hardware, and then if we go to the NVMe configuration,
Says no.
yeah. Boot configuration. Oh. On. Setup mode. Advanced mode. We're not seeing anything. Enable. Fast boot is enabled. Let's turn disable for now because we want to go slow mode, which means it's going to give us some more verbose experience and give us verbiage, more verbiage about what's going on, why. Full screen. Post delay for diagnostic, let's just do 5 seconds. Force BIOS. Exit, okay. Save, yes, okay. Okay, so what I think I want to do is just find the latest BIOS. So what did I say it was version 1405?
I believe so.
Yeah. So let's use.
And I have this pulled up, but I don't know. Yeah, well, this says.
What's the date? Yeah, there you go. That date tells us a lot.
So version 4403.
The last one was November of 19. That's
Okay.
22.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 3-year newer version. So what we'll do is,
So that's what I don't understand. Like,
Right.
I thought I hit download.
well, you download it, but there's still another procedure that we have to do here. So when you download it, it's on the M2 in your download folder.
Okay.
So that's what you did. You did that on this computer.
I think so.
Okay. So what happens is that needs to get extracted to that memory stick I was fondling. Where's that memory stick I just had in my hand? Oh, it's right here. Good. So we're going to download this file. Before in this state, what we can do is update this BIOS.
Is this known as a flash BIOS?
Yes, we're flashing the BIOS, which is why everyone gets all, ooh, it's a dangerous procedure. But I'm still trying, so 1405, it doesn't have the date right there, but what's that version?
4403.
There you go, bigger version.
So you'll have to, download that from a different computer?
Yes.
And then, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of hesitant before I even go there. I'm just confused as to why the storage information is populated,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not the configuration. Let's see here. Let me Google this. Where's my phone? Hey Siri, where are you? Oh, did I leave it? Oh, there it
I'm
is.
here.
Let's see here. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. What kind of which motherboard is this?
This is exactly, because I got it pulled up here, the Asus Prime
Asus Prime
X570
X570
P.
Dash P. Is it Dash Pro?
Well, I think there's a Pro and a P. I'm not clear if it's the same or not. This is saying, I mean, this is my board exactly, and it says Prime X570P, so I don't think it's the Pro.
Right.
And actually, I even have a screenshot of
Got it. Okay.
when I bought it.
Okay, so I'm Googling what setting I might be missing here. Let's see here. It's obviously a setting. Please check so right. Rudimentary settings.
Yeah, that's it 100% exactly.
Yeah.
The Prime
Got it.
X570P.
Check the CPU. That's weird. It's like the motherboard only half sees that CPU, or the M2. I mean, that's the troubleshooting in this is so rudimentary. It's not telling us what setting in the BIOS I'm looking for. QLED. That's vague. Good. Okay. Troubleshooting. Cannot find the hard disk or SSD M2 after motherboard power is on. Let's see here. There's a video I'm playing. There's a setting here. It's a super easy fix. Let's see. Yeah. Got it. now we got into the BIOS already. Yes, easy mode. Yeah. F7 for easy mode. Let's see. Let's see here. Okay. Yes. Okay, it's under the SATA mode also. Let's see here. SATA configuration. We don't want RAID. You know what, let's just enable it just to see if that was a setting. Let's see here. Yes. No, that's where we needed to be. Oh, we got more down here. Oh, M2. Okay, just
Says disabled.
yeah. Why does this? That's weird. Weird. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now it's enabled.
Oh, well, hopefully,
That might have been toggled and swapping out the CPU.
maybe.
Yeah, we're disabled RAID again. Okay, good. I was too excited. I didn't realize that the M2 would be under the same as the SATA connection because it's a separate technology. All right, exit. Cancel. I want to do save what I just exited. Exit, saving changes. Save changes and reset, yes. Okay, let's see if it boots now. So for whatever reason, the M2 was disabled. Drum roll.
Oh, baby.
Let's see those circular dots. Okay. No, okay. Is there anything other than Windows on that drive?
I mean, just like files and programs and stuff, but
So, okay, you just, if we needed to reinstall, would be fine?
yeah. I mean, does that mean it would erase everything?
Yeah, I'm not even ready to go there. I'm just curious.
Yeah, if we, I mean, listen,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I get
Yeah.
the computer working, but
Right,
I'd hate to erase all the
Right.
documents, but
I get it.
if that's all we can do,
Let me find a mouse. This is actually a mouse-friendly BIOS. It'll be easier. I can move around faster.
I mean, the fact that the BIOS and the keyboard's working is a good thing, because
Yeah. Yeah.
that
yeah,
thing was so jacked up, it didn't even recognize the keyboard and a mouse.
Right. Yeah, I think we're on the right track. Okay, there's our mouse. Now I can move around a little faster. Why? Okay, let's go to advanced. Okay, so we're gonna go to SATA configuration.
What about that hot plug? It says disabled.
Yeah, hot plug we're not worried about.
Oh, okay.
And that's also the SATA plug. We don't have any SATA drives.
Oh, okay.
See, this is why I didn't go far. See, did you notice
It
how
says
just-
disabled.
it disabled itself again?
Mhm.
This is why I enjoy someone like you watching me, because it's like if I tried to explain all this when you weren't here, that's just
Yeah,
yeah.
I wonder why it keeps.
Yeah. Okay, so cancel. It looks like okay, enable. Okay, where's the save mode? Enter. Enabled. Okay. The reason we want these others disabled is so it'll boot faster.
Okay.
Because it takes a fraction of a second to look at each other boot option. So now we're going to go exit. We're going to go save changes.
And maybe go back to see if, oh, never mind, I don't know if we can.
Hot plug disabled to enabled. It's not recognizing that I enabled it. Boot. Where is it? Advanced.
Yeah, it's still showing
Okay,
enabled.
enabled, okay. But when I watch this, if I go exit, and if I do save changes and reset, discard changes and exit, hot plug disabled to enabled. See, it's not recognizing that I enabled the M2. It's just recognizing that hot plug feature. So let's try this. Let's see what happens. We're on the right track. We'll figure it out. There's a glitch in the BIOS. That's one of these fixes that gets addressed in this update we're about to do. Let's see if it boots to Windows. If not, let's just get around to putting that BIOS on that USB stick. Yeah, all right. Let's just get the BIOS updated.
Okay.
So we're going to plug this into my little USB. Actually, we can just plug it in right here. All right. So I'm going to download it to that.
Okay.
My virus protection's wondering.
I take it you've been doing computer stuff like this for a long time, huh?
I've been on my own for about 10 years.
Okay.
I started in high school. That's about 25 years.
Gotcha.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
I still have an interest in it. Okay, that motherboard is an Asus
Prime
Prime
X570P.
X570P.
Not the Pro, but just the
Got
P.
it. BIOS. Good. Okay, good. So we're just going to download this little file. Okay. Driver and firmware. Firmware is technically the BIOS. There we
Okay.
go.
And that's the 14403.
Holy cow, it's a 20 meg file. That's a big BIOS. Okay, so there, this is what you did. You downloaded it.
Okay.
What they don't tell you, obviously, if you're a novice, you don't have any verbiage. It tells you still need to extract that to some other place.
Yeah, and that I didn't do.
It's all right. So you also have to open up this. So inside that zip folder, you got two other files.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to copy.
Okay.
And then we're going to go to this memory stick, which is this Kingston. And it looks like I did use that stick for some other BIOS. Delete the old stuff. Yeah, that looks like someone else's BIOS.
This isn't your first rodeo with this?
No. No. I'd get into retail and have stuff to sell you. It's just that this place is small.
No,
and
it's cool.
Yeah. Like if I do data recovery, I'll have a brand new drive ready to sell someone, but that's about the gist of the hardware I have on site.
Gotcha. Well, it's so hard to get stuff right now.
Oh,
too.
yeah, that too. Yeah.
Do you game?
No, well, Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's
That's
it. Yeah, that's
What
the closest.
kind of graphics are you running?
Well, it's just a laptop right now. Just
Okay.
a whatever's in my. What is it? It's an AMD machine. I forgot.
Okay.
It's an entry level. I think I paid $800 for it.
Wow.
It's like a year-old machine at this point. Okay, so that's now on this USB. So now there's a USB utility in the BIOS. It's under the tool function. So now we're gonna go. Where is?
I know, I saw it.
Yeah. Let's go back to advanced mode. And we might have to go to advanced mode for that.
There it is, tool.
Tool. And then easy flash utility. There's our drive. Next. Good. And that's it. Okay, and then what size stick is that? Prime, there we are. X570P. Yes. We want to read it. Okay, hurry up and wait. This is going to be about 2 minutes. There's the date. So it's confirming 4403,
Mm-hmm.
42822, and hurry up and wait. This might have something to do with why we're having reliability issues with getting the M2 to toggle. So I'm guessing in just turning it on with the unsupported CPU, it tweaked some of the technical settings in the BIOS. And as an outsider, I wouldn't necessarily know which settings may or may not have been modified.
I mean, I did everything. I tried to trip the CMOS.
Right.
Everything.
Yeah.
Readjusted the RAM.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah. I don't think you did technically anything wrong. You just didn't have this much knowledge,
Mm-mm.
and it's just that little bit of knowledge that kept you from succeeding.
See, my buddy told me, he's the one that got me into computers, and he told me about the BIOS.
Right.
So I thought I did it because I downloaded that file, I'm pretty sure,
Right.
but it never got extracted.
Right. So
Because you
this
have
is-
to physically, in order for you to mess with BIOS, correct me if I'm wrong, you have to physically go into that screen. Is that
yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. In this case, yes.
Yeah, and this thing wouldn't even let me go into BIOS as you saw. There was 0 display.
Right. Yeah. So this might be our ticket to a home run.
I hope so.
Yeah. I'm curious. I've only had this office for a month. Let's see how this looks.
Oh, really? Did you?
Yeah, you can watch us. We're live on YouTube, so
Okay.
which is another good thing because you'll have this to refer to.
Yeah.
The video.
Yeah, I'll have to follow your
Yeah,
channel.
that'll help. Yeah. Let's see here. Where am I? I just look for broadcasting purposes. There we are. Good. We're live. 36 minutes. Good. And that's what we're seeing right now. So
Okay.
now let me adjust that camera. There we go. Oh, that's perfect. I just need I'm gonna get another camera eventually, so that I can put another camera right on this shelf and point down
that'll
here.
Be, yeah, that'll be cool.
That for more. I mean, a lot of people I'm sure that'll watch this video and say, "Well, I can't see inside," so I'll get there. So that's my router.
Okay. That thing's pretty diesel.
Yeah, that's a Unify, an Enthusiast. It's got a touchscreen and shows me everything that's
Wow.
going. Yeah. It's actually an Enthusiast router, but it's actually very easy to set up. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one of those Asus ROG,
Yeah.
like the Wi-Fi 6.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I got a good one.
What's your square footage?
Like 1,900 square feet.
Okay, so that should cover most of it as long as it's in the middle of the house, right?
The way that Spectrum set it up, thankfully, I am running the fiber optic, thank God.
Did you turn off the original router?
I did.
Good.
And I put that one
Good,
in.
because that original router will slow the new one down.
Where it's hooked up in my wife's office, when I do the speed test, it's getting like 700 megabits, which is pretty fast.
Good.
But down in my office, because I'm 3 levels lower,
Yeah.
it's between like 250, 300. So that's
Right.
still pretty fast, though,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Well, it might be, I mean, if you're a gamer, you might be willing to just run an Ethernet cable for more reliability.
I
And
wanted to do that, but I have to call Spectrum back out. It's not when I plug
so
in.
it's coax only?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's fine. But your router is Ethernet.
Yeah.
So you can go from your router to Ethernet and back down to your 2 floors down.
Mm-hmm. Something's not working in the wall.
What do you mean? Oh, you have Ethernet in the wall, you mean?
Like the cable's running through when I connected, because
You say you have Ethernet in the wall,
um,
right? You can plug an Ethernet into the wall?
were you talking about like the old school telephone?
It's not that, but it's bigger. The Ethernet.
Yeah.
The Ethernet cable?
No, I don't know if I have that set up on my floor. It might only be the coax.
Okay, well, because a lot of these homes, like in the newer homes throughout the South Bay, they have Ethernet in each room, and that's relatively easy to set up. I wasn't sure if that's what you had.
No, it only has the coax.
Okay, so the coax, just in your case, is you're getting internet from coax to the original router, right?
I think so.
So physically that router is not removed, it's just you turned off the Wi-Fi radios.
I unplugged the Spectrum router and I'm using my gaming router.
Got it, so you got Ethernet from Spectrum then, okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's fine. But what I was thinking is if you want Ethernet, you're gonna have to drill holes in the floor to get Ethernet down there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or get an extender, which means you're not gonna extend off of that router. You would get like a mesh system to be more reliable. And
I thought about that. I was looking at those.
this is a mesh option. You can get this one by itself and another one, and then it works, you get a second one for downstairs. So basically,
Does it take away from like where it's originally set up?
so my internet has that Ethernet, that white cable comes out of
Okay.
the wall,
Okay.
and then I have just, because I'm working on the other side of the office, across the whole place, and then into the back of the router. And then this is a regular Ethernet router.
Okay.
And I have all my stuff, a switch right there for added stuff is just plugged straight into the router. But if I have bigger square footage, I want another one of these.
Gotcha.
So that they can make a bigger Wi-Fi bubble.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like it's an issue with Spectrum.
Yeah.
Like the cable
No.
is not working in my,
No.
because my buddy,
It's normal for your downstairs to not be as reliable or as fast as the upstairs Wi-Fi. There's latency, there's overhead in the 1 or 2 floors between you and the router.
Alright, let me explain what I was trying to do.
Alright,
The old house that we had when I had my gaming buddy that lived with us,
yeah,
what he had set up, which is what I was trying to set up, but the outlet wouldn't work, was the coax cable was plugged into this external box.
yeah,
And then there was an Ethernet plug into
yeah.
that.
That sounds like an extender,
Maybe, but
or
it
maybe
would,
a switch. Because this is a switch, that just adds ports to my router.
no, this was a box that was plugged into the coax.
Okay, so that might have been the stock router that came from the provider.
No, this was an aftermarket thing. Let me try
Okay.
to find it. Let me try to find it.
Yeah,
It took it took the place of like the coax where you would plug in your cable,
right.
and
That's what a lot of the residential coax, a lot of the residential Spectrum,
Update
Frontier. Good. Update successful. Now it's going to reboot.
yeah,
Yes.
we're renting. But if we buy a place out here, I'll definitely would
Right.
take your recommendation, or if you do that kind of work, hire.
Well, you'd be surprised. Often it's the cables are already run. They just you add a switch to all those cables in the closet, and they suddenly work. Good. It's updating your latest firmware. Do not shut down. Do not touch is what that says. BIOS is updating LED firmware. So there's separate software that's separate from the main BIOS that controls your LEDs.
Huh.
Yeah, that's the Unify. If you want to go on YouTube and find reviews of this thing,
I bet that thing's awesome.
yeah, it's a little expensive, and actually for
It is.
an enthusiast router, it's a feature in EMIC, but it's very reliable and it's a good performer.
Yeah, what's one like that run?
That's $400.
I mean, that's what I spent
Yeah.
for the one that I bought.
Right.
But mine was back in 2019, so
Right.
I can imagine how much
Right.
better.
Well, I think that's been available for at least a couple of years.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. I've had it for not quite a year, maybe. I replaced it because I had the original AC router from Apple. Oh, drum roll. Black screen is actually a good sign so far.
Come on, baby.
We want those dots for Windows boot. Okay. Enter recovered settings when RAID configuration was built. Oh, yeah. So what it's implying is that you did have the RAID turned on, and that got toggled off, which might be also what part of our issue is. Ensure that the SATA correct configuration is set to RAID mode. Press F1 to run setup. So, detected devices: Kingston 101, Samsung, SSD 860 Evo M.2 1 terabyte. Good.
So that is good that it's detecting that.
Yeah, before we were, I made it a more verbose mode so that I could read this.
Okay.
So let's see here. Okay, let's see if we go to advanced, boot. Good. See, now it's seeing that Kingston drive.
Mhm.
31. Wait a minute. Hold on. I thought that was it's a Samsung Evo, right? Why is it? What's this Kingston? Do you have a second drive in there?
Isn't that yours? Isn't that your thumb drive?
Oh wait, yeah, that's right. It's seeing the boot drive off the Kingston, but it's still okay. So where's the Samsung 860? Yeah, I totally didn't even realize. Yes, let's get rid of this. We're done with this. Let's reboot now. Okay, good. Boot configuration. Let's see what this says. Fast boot. Tool. Where was I? Advanced. Oh, HD or SSD. Good. Sees that. Good. exit, save changes, and reset. Let's just see how it behaves without that memory stick in there. Hey, sleepy boy. Oh, it's still booting into that. Where was I? Advanced mode. Advanced. Set a configuration mode. See, that says disabled. It implied that it needed to be enabled, which is weird. Okay, enable or disabled NV RAM mode. Good.
And that scrolls down more.
Let's see, yeah, let's. Mouse doesn't want to scroll. Alright. There. Ugh, it disabled that again. Enable. Alright, good. Exit. Save changes and reset. Yes, good. Drum roll. Come on. Drum roll. Oh, why does it keep going to the BIOS? Advanced mode. There's some technical setting that I don't know about that got changed. Boot. Boot configuration. Does it see? Easy mode. Where's the darn boot configuration? We are setup mode. NVMe. Well, now it's not seeing it. God darn it. Legacy USB support is seen. All right. Advanced legacy USB port. Tweaker. No, that's not what we need. Let's go. Oh, let's go to easy mode. Let's see what our options there. CPU defaults. Let's just do defaults and see what happens. Save and exit. Oh, select. Okay, got it. Oh, TPM device might have been disabled too. Jesus, man. We'll get there. Nothing's physically wrong. I mean, you don't have a hardware problem. This is a configuration issue in the BIOS.
Okay. Are you working tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right. What I might have to do here soon,
You
even though
gotta take
I
off?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
might have to take off, and
All
then
right.
I'll just come back tomorrow.
Sweet.
And then you tell me, do you prefer cash or card?
Well, cash is my favorite, but anyway, that's convenient. Card, Zelle,
Okay.
whatever.
I'll call you tomorrow, and you
Yeah.
just tell me
All right.
what what cash to bring you
Sure.
for your service and all that. And then
Sweet.
We'll go from there. I'm
All right.
gonna go ahead and call an Uber now. I'll keep
Yeah.
watching.
Got it.
I just gotta handle some things, unfortunately.
Yeah,
with
that
the
can-
car,
yeah,
and
you totally
and
know.
life, and all that.
Yeah.
What? How late are you working tomorrow?
About 6. That's my
Okay.
general time.
I'll try to. I'll just. Hey, hon.
Why is
I'm
it?
gonna take a ride from the computer store here to the dealership, get the car, and then I'll come pick you up.
Storage information.
Okay, let me do
ACHI. Why is it not seeing? It's so weird. Search, resize bar, easy tuning. Not really what I have to. Yeah, it's definitely in let's do this. I'm gonna push a copy of Windows in the USB just to reboot.
Okay.
See if the Windows install sees it. Did you have Windows 10 or 11?
It was 10.
You want to stick with 10?
What do you think I should do?
Well, I guess if you're a gamer, 10 might be worth sticking with.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, that's really what
I had a one gamer kid come in here the other day. He said he wanted me to downgrade it from 11. So, and I'm not a huge gamer, so I don't know which games are worse on 11.
Yeah, let me just stick with 10 then.
All right. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm going to pretend to install. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it'll probably be like around this time afternoon.
That's fine.
I'll come by and
Yeah.
pay and then.
I'm not giving up on this thing today. I'm going to watch this thing boot today. I don't know why.
I know, and then we still have to have to put the other CPU in.
Yeah, that's all right. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's like as much as I love to stay here and watch this through.
Right. Well, you'll be able to watch the whole recorded experience.
That's true.
I'm
Yeah.
not stopping my recording.
Yeah. So you got, and I'll just leave my thermal paste here.
Sure.
If you
Where
wanna
is
use
it?
that.
Where is it? Where did we put it?
That is right.
I thought I saw it. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's right there. Got it. Hey, Windows is booting.
All right. Well, that's.
All right. Oh, this is my installer though. Let's see if the installer sees any drives. I don't think it will. I just want to see. That's weird. It's physically installed. Okay, don't see it. That's fine. Was it Windows Home or Pro? Do you remember what you paid for?
My buddy had it on
Okay,
On a
we'll just
small
install
thumb
Home
drive.
for now. Yeah, that's exactly what this is. Custom. Look at that! Windows.
a. It sees it.
Yeah, that's really weird. That's really weird. Okay, so can we just reinstall?
Is
I
it
know,
gonna- is it
yeah,
gonna erase everything?
yeah,
Fuck.
yeah, but you just had software and games that you just have to reinstall, right?
Well, I had like files and stuff. Like,
That's why I was wondering, do we need to back anything up? That's,
I mean, what's the process on
well,
that?
I'd have to pull that out, save your data off of there since we're having trouble. This is why there's something in the BIOS I'm missing. I'm sure there's one little toggle switch that got switched wrong, because there's multiple correct ways to get it to boot. But if you change one of those settings, it'll disable the boot. Because see this installation of Windows, that's why I remember over the phone I was telling you might need to reinstall Windows anyway, just by swapping out the CPU. Well, there's some technical setting that's screwing up your boot.
What's the so you'd have to back up all the files.
Yeah.
What's the cost for all that kind of stuff? Is it a big
I'm-
pain in the ass?
I don't like racking up a bunch of hours and time.
Is it a pain in the ass
And
process?
it is kind of a pain. I gotta pull that video card out to get to that end too, yeah. That's annoying. I think if I sit here and toggle that BIOS long enough, I'll probably just get it to boot.
Alright.
But this is the quick and dirty way because this is why I'm so frustrated. You go into the BIOS, it sees that there's no CPU bootable option, even though it sees that the hardware is technically installed, and then Windows does see the drive. That's
Maybe
just,
keep messing with
oh,
BIOS.
yeah, I'm gonna keep messing
and
with the
then
BIOS.
Before I'll call you tomorrow
Yeah,
before you do that, because
Yeah.
I might just say put it on hold, I'll come over
Yeah,
and
we'll
I'll
figure this out.
I'll pull the card
Yeah,
out
it's relative-
and then have you grab
Yeah.
the stick out.
Yeah.
Because I know how I have this
Yeah.
arranged and I don't want you to have to screw with that
yeah,
part,
it's,
'cause
that's an expensive video card too, yeah. Alright, okay, yes, I'm sure, so I'll spend a few more, I'm gonna screw around with the BIOS,
yeah, see if you can figure it out through the BIOS, and like I said, if not, worst case,
yeah,
I'm not in the PC's out of commission, so
right,
maybe I'll just come over here tomorrow, we'll pull out, I'll move the card enough out of the way
right,
to where you can pull that out, try to
Right.
update it, and then
yeah,
we'll go from there.
alright,
Even if it takes a few days for you to have to work on it.
yeah, no, I'll figure this out, I'm actually determined, this is why I enjoy the work, sometimes I get stuck on some little setting. What setting might I be missing SATA configuration, SATA mode. We don't want it on RAID.
I'm gonna go down there.
All
I'll
right.
call you tomorrow
Yeah, sure.
before we do any kind of new install of Windows.
Yeah, there's some sort of weird issue. Hot plug is hot plug is disabled.
So, but
Okay.
everything's here. The CPU, the new CPU is right there, and the thermal paste is right there.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
Got it.
So, all right, Chris. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank
I'll
you.
call you tomorrow, and then we'll figure this out.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, buddy.
Let's see here. Let's see. You know what? Who might help? Let's try this. Let's see if Myron's home. What am I missing? Well, he's not answering. Let's see here. He's got two accounts. Which one? It sees the drive, but it's not booting off of. Oh, launch CSM. Oh. Enable. Let's see here. That's weird. It sees that the drive is physically installed. What setting might I be missing here? Come over here. Let's see. That's really weird. Why is the BIOS not seeing? M2 not. Please enter new name. What this motherboard is implying is that is there only one slot available? Yeah, there's only one. Oh, this thing does support a second M2. Okay, so this motherboard does take two M2s. All right. Gray, SATA 6G gray. Let's see here. See here. SATA port enabled. You know what? Let's turn off all of the SATAs. He doesn't have an optical drive and he doesn't have any mechanical drives. NVMe RAID off. Let's turn that off. We don't need RAID. NVMe configuration. NVMe configuration. No NVMe device found. Gosh, that's so confusing. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, you know what? It's probably kind of wait for him. Okay, so let's go. Confirm settings in BIOS. Okay, M2 information of hard disk or SSD does not show in storage information in BIOS easy mode due to framework of the BIOS. This phenomenon is normal. This phenomenon is normal, okay. Go to advanced mode, launch CSM. Please set launch CSM as enabled below. Okay, so is that the feature that we need? Go to boot and then launch CSM. No, boot. No, I want to clear any boot keys. Where's the CSM? Tool. Advanced. Boot. I'm not seeing the CSM feature, that's why. Where is it? CSM. Can't tell exactly which boot I'm looking at. CSM compatibility support module. So if I go to boot, launch CSM, I don't see a launch CSM option here. Let's go to boot again. Advanced mode, launch CSM. That's just confusing. There's no CSM mode. Ah, there it is, under boot, CSM enabled. Okay, launch CSM is enabled. Okay, what else am I missing here? So it was already enabled. Confirm your hardware. Okay, in this particular situation they're using an SSD, but it's a SATA drive. Make sure it's physically installed. Okay, so in this example it's the Prime Z390A motherboard. At this time the computer can only recognize M2 and okay, if you still cannot see the problem with the above steps, the hard disk may have a physical damage or the SSD is damaged. At this time, the computer can only recognize M2 SSD in oh gosh. Oh. M.2 port can support SATA mode on PCIe mode. M.2 number 2 support can only support PCIe mode and can support SATA mode. Therefore, if you connect SATA mode M2 to SSD to M2, the port can, okay. M.2 is shared with SATA 6. Therefore, when connecting the device to the two ports, SATA 6 will be closed. At this time, the computer can only recognize an M2 SSD in M2-1 port and can't recognize the hard disk in SATA 6G1 if you need the computer to recognize a hard disk. Okay, I gotta toggle one of these systems here. UEFI only. Let's do UEFI only. Let's just do modern boot only. Okay, PCIe or PCI expansion devices will run the select type first during the system boot. Okay, let's try this. Oh, how annoying. So this motherboard does take two M2s. Nope, it wants to go straight back to the BIOS. No bootable devices found. Advanced mode. Boot. Enabled. Advanced. Configuration mode. Oh, you know what? Oh. Main. Advanced. SATA configuration. Enable the ports. Let's try that. Hi, this is Chris.
Hello?
Yes, this is Chris.
Hi, is this Chris?
Yes.
Hi, my name's Ken Johnson. We met down the bottom of Caballeros Road a year or so ago, I think.
Yes, hi.
5?
I said, yes, hi.
Oh, anyway, hi. I'm having trouble hearing you. You sound like you're at the end of a tunnel, but...
Sorry.
Anyhow, I got a problem with my computer. I changed my Google password, and I keep
Okay.
that wants my username, which is my email, and my password. Could you give me a hand on that and then just send me a bill?
Okay, so can you reiterate again what you need? I'm not sure I understood what you just said. You're having trouble logging into your email, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't send from it. It keeps giving me a send receive error.
Okay.
And then it gets this damn pop-up constantly.
What was the name of your what email service are you using?
Google.
Got it.
Outlook.
Okay, I think I already know what the problem is. When's the last time it worked?
Last time, well, it's been working since the last time I changed my password.
Okay.
I keep forgetting about this.
Okay, so what I'm wondering is this a desktop or a laptop?
It's a desktop.
Okay, so yeah, is it working fine otherwise? Because yes, I can log in remotely.
Say again, I'm sorry?
I can log in remotely, so yeah, I should be able to.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, I'm busy right now. I should be available in a couple hours. Are you in a hurry?
Yeah, but I'll have to wait.
Yeah, I want to get this desktop working. Let me call you back as soon as I can. And then, do you have Team Viewer? Do you know what that is?
Who?
Can you install software called Team Viewer for me? That'll allow me in remotely.
I'm sorry, what's the name of it again?
Team, like working as a team, TEAM. Viewer, like viewership, VIE, viewer.com.
Team what?
Viewer. It's all right. Viewer.
Say again?
Viewer.
Hard to hear.
Viewer.
To what?
Team. Hold on. Let me see here. Just a
Can
second.
you text me on my cell phone?
Let me see.
Be a lot easier.
Here, Team Viewer. Sorry, I was trying to work on two things at once. It's the word team, TEAM, and then view. Yeah. Team Viewer. Yeah. All right, I'll call you as soon as I can. Let me see about getting this other machine we're going. Thanks. Bye. All right, I'll be right back. I need a bathroom break. All right, let's see here. What did I do with my keys? All right, we're still working. Let's see about this. Okay, so we downgraded the CPU to get this thing working because we think we needed to update the CPU BIOS, or we update the BIOS on the motherboard to see the new CPU. We put in the old CPU, can't get it to boot because of some setting for the M2. So, what setting might I be missing? We now have the latest BIOS for this motherboard. What setting do I need to change? The BIOS does not want to see the M2, even though we technically can see the M2. Oh, system data. I wonder if that's a glitch. That's interesting. I just realized the date on this motherboard says 2019. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. Wow, let's see. Let's reboot. Well, that's interesting. The BIOS is misdated. Exit. Load, save, changes, and reset. Save changes and reset. Well, that's interesting. So the date says 2019. I wonder, I know if the date in Windows or Macintosh is out of date, the system will become erratic. I wonder if the BIOS date is part of our issue. I just plugged in Ethernet. Okay, let's see what the BIOS date after restarting it is. Let's go to so the date on this build on the BIOS that we have installed is 4403 for 64-bit systems. 4/28/22 is the build date for that BIOS. The date. Why is the date on this system date? Is that when this motherboard was built? Yeah, I think so. Okay. I thought there was a modern timer I was supposed to be staring at, but new. BIOS. Compatibility mode enabled. For better compatibility, enable the CSM to fully support the non-UEFI driver, add-on devices, or the Windows UEFI boot mode. Disabled in the gosh, why won't this thing boot? See why if I go into the advanced NVMe controller and drive information, it doesn't want to see the drive. But then when I try to boot into Windows, the boot install and the Windows boot sees a drive with partitions. I'm confused. Let's see, I don't really want to pull this video card out of here. What a mess. Monitor. What if I go to my favorites and leave that on auto, main, oh, the time is, okay, yeah, wait a minute, system date, 12/6/19. Well, the system's not, the time. Let's see here. We're getting there. The Samsung 860. Hey, we got Windows. Holy heck. That was weird. Okay, Jason. What's his password? Okay, I'm actually okay, cool. We got a bootable system. Let's see here. What time is it? Jason, let's call him. Hey Jason, it's Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, you want to tell me what your password is to log in? Or text it to me?
Oh, yeah, you signed up for Windows?
Yeah, I got Windows up.
Oh, great. It should be just Arthur with a capital A,
Yeah.
and then the number 57, exclamation point.
All right, hold on. Let me try that while you're on the phone.
Okay.
What'd you say? Your name with the capital A, and then what?
No, not my name, Arthur, the name Arthur, so
Yeah.
A-R-T-H-U-R, but the A capital, and then 57, exclamation point.
All right, hold on a second. A, U, R,
No, A-R,
A, R.
A-R-T-H-U-R,
Yeah.
and then 57, exclamation point.
All right, that worked. All right, okay, so I got the old setup working. So now at this point, I'm going to do a few updates, and then I'll install the other CPU.
Alright, sounds good, and if you want to wait until I get there tomorrow to put that shroud back on, I'll
Yeah.
do that, it's up to you.
I think let's wait. I'll do some updates on this system, let it sit and make sure it's reliable. And then I think I want to wait until you come back. It'll be more fun with you here. And then we'll just finish this up together.
Sounds good, bud, thank you.
Okay, what time did we say you're coming over tomorrow?
I'll call you tomorrow sometime in the afternoon.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.
All right. Bye. Well, there we go. I'm going to have to go back to this video. I hope I can read exactly where I was in this BIOS. But I finally got Windows 10 working. But the cool thing about what I'm up to is that I don't edit. Well, I do edit for privacy. But for all intents and purposes, everything you see here is what I experience. And obviously, you guys are experiencing the same sort of problems. So show up live, say hi in the YouTube chat. If I'm not here live, give me a phone call, 855-434-8787. I might be back later today. I might not. Have a good day.